Welcome to the Sisterhood Tea Party, where we get together weekly to discuss all the tea about life, relationships, pop culture, and generally anything you'd chat about with your best friend over a cup of tea or beverage of choice.
We're your hosts, Stephanie and Jessica, and we've been spilling the tea to each other for more than a decade, and we're ready to invite you all to the tea party.
In today's episode, we are spilling the tea about Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook groups. We will be sharing some of the wildest things we've seen in these groups and laughing at the ridiculousness that is the dating scene.
Yes, but a quick plug before we get started. If you like what you hear today, you can follow at Sisterhood Tea Party on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Let's get to sipping with what's top of mind for us this week.
What's top of mind for you?
Oversized t-shirts. I'm in my comfort era. You have one on too.
I do.
Loving it.
It's the best.
I'm obsessed because you just add a little bit of jewelry and it dresses it up, but also like it's so comfortable.
Yes, it still gives off like you tried.
I tried.
You made some effort, but like it's
in a
casual.
comfortable way.
Casual.
I'm obsessed. I feel like I don't really have a middle ground. I either have crop tops and like bodysuits that are super tight fitting or oversized tees. There's no in between.
No in between.
And I'm in my oversized tee era.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And I also love a good oversized tee. And I think I'm also the same way. I have like crop tops. I have fitted tops that are like bodysuits and things like that. But it just depends on my mood. Definitely. Honestly. Definitely. I love that.
What is top of mind for you?
Girl.
Uh-oh.
You know how I've complained about dating apps and the whole dating scene.
Very on brand for today's topic.
Very on brand. And for me, I'm tired of dating apps. Like it's frustrating. So I have been really trying to meet men out in the wild.
Love that.
Yes. And so there's different ways you can do this. I mean, going to like a sports bar, going to like looking confused at Home Depot, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just getting out there.
Home Depot. I love it.
I haven't done that one yet, but like just being out and about, like doing things that I like or like want to be around in those spaces. Yeah. But no luck. So
it's the start of the journey.
It's the start. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna remain open and go from there.
It can't get worse than dating apps, I feel like, from what I hear.
No, it really can't.
Speaking of which, let's spill the tea on the Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook groups and what are they? What are some wild things about them? Let's just like maybe talk about first, like what are these groups? Because maybe people are not familiar with them.
Right. And these groups, it's truly just a place where women can just come together to empower each other, right?
Yes.
When it comes to the dating scene, because we all know, especially speaking as a single woman, it is hard out there to really try and find quality men that we want to spend time with or quality partners we want to spend time with.
Right.
So these posts kind of range from just someone sharing that they need just information about somebody who they want to go on a date with.
Yes. Or like seeking information.
Right?
Like, does anybody know this person? Right. Any like red flags that I should know about? That kind of stuff.
Exactly. And it also does get pretty serious and, leads into more serious and horror stories that come out. That's really just warning women, like, stay away from this person. And then giving details at that point.
It's like a way for women to look out for each other.
100%.
Really. Like at the end of the day, it is a place where it's meant to be like this safe space where people can talk about like, hey, and sometimes it's not all negative. There are times where people are like, actually, like I do know that person and they are pretty great. And, like you should go for it kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But like the real world, there's a lot of negativity.
And, in addition to that, you can also remain anonymous in these groups.
Yes.
So it's a place where women can post anonymously and share so they feel that additional level of safety.
Yes.
When, seeking information or sharing information about someone there.
Exactly.
So there are explicit rules in these groups.
Yes.
That involve no screenshotting or telling the men that they've seen, by the way, like you were posted in this group. Absolutely.
You will get kicked out of the 100%. Group. Cannot do that. So like today, when we talk about these, we are going to talk about them more at like the theme level versus the individual stories to remain anonymous. We're not trying to get kicked out of these groups. Nope. We're trying to keep the safety element. But just to give you like a little idea of the kinds of things that you see kind of across the nation. And they're also localized. So like these exist in cities and towns across the nation.
That is correct.
It's not any one specific
place. No, they're all over the place.
So let's talk about what the types of posts that are in this group. I think my favorite one is the cheaters. Because like cheaters, they like thrive in secrecy, and then this like loses the secrecy because 100%. People talk about it.
They do, and it's like, what? Why would you do this? You know what I mean?
Like the screenshots of men's dating profiles where they explicitly say they are married.
Right. No, because that's so embarrassing. Like, why would you do that? You are literally in this profile. I'm just married, just having some fun while I'm gone.
And like, do you not know how technology works? That can be screenshotted?
Screenshots
like, what?
live forever. The internet is undefeated.
Literally.
Like,
the internet works harder.
Always.
That is, I think that's my favorite. Like, just like a screenshot. But like the cheaters in general.
Yes. As an example, I saw a post on there and someone was simply asking, like, has anybody met this person? Blah, blah, blah. And it was a photo of this guy. And very clearly, you can see that he has a wedding ring on. Like, that was his picture that she took. And someone had said, like, what more do you need here? The red flags are shown in this photo.
Even if he tries to like be like, oh, that picture was taken before, like by your ex-wife, then like what?
Why would you use that photo?
Literally, you couldn't get another photo.
Come on,
you have your wedding ring on. What is happening? And then there's the long distance cheaters, right? Like there's the oh, I'm just here for work. Lies.
Always lies. Because yeah, you're here for work, but you're also like being a terrible person right now.
Yes, you probably actually live here and you're just saying that and you're cheating.
Ugh.
My favorite thing about the cheater ones though is like, again, the way that the women in these groups come together.
Yes, they rally
and they're just like, you know what? This really sucks that this man cheat. Because also that's not just like, hey, is this person cheating? But like people will be like, oh, hey, this person's cheating so that you know about it and kind of warn people.
Oh, yes.
And then people are like, girl, you were doing the Lord's work. 100%. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you, but like, you can do way better.
Exactly.
Way better.
And like, especially when someone has seen this person out and they're like, well, yeah, I saw this person out and they were doing X, Y, and Z. Like, continuously outing this person is just like, chef's kiss. Like, we just love to see it.
And just the comment is just run.
Just run.
Run.
And it's just like all the flags with it too.
Yes.
Just go, girl. I also saw a quote on there. It was like one of those like Twitter posts or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, he has 7 other women making him smile. Be special and make him cry.
Oh, the revenge.
It's the revenge for me.
It's the revenge for me. I love that. Okay, so we have our cheater post, and then there's like, okay, taking like more serious note, then there's like the domestic violence and obsessive men is kind of how I think of them.
Right.
Posts, which is like red flag, protect yourself from this man because this man's out there and this
doing
is what
these
happened.
Things. Yes. And a lot of the women will go in there and give explicit details about what these men have done. And it's just like a clear warning sign, like, stay away from this person. Screenshots, everything.
Yes. And I think what's kind of incredible about those kind of posts, honestly, to get like serious for a second, is like the system fails women over and over and over again. That is why domestic violence is so common. This is why sexual assault is so common. And this is a way to like, and I know there's gonna be some people who are like, that's the problem with cancel culture. But you know what? When you're like, I think there's a lot of women who don't even want to risk it. Like like, sorry, but like it's too unsafe out there to like risk it. And to me, this is like a way of like an extra layer of safety and protection for women by using these groups.
Exactly. And what's incredible about it is that the number of women that are in these groups, I mean, is tens of thousands of women that are in here protecting each other and warning each other about men like this. You know, we need that out there because we have to look out for each other because the system's failing us.
100%. And then there's like not only the domestic violence ones, but then there's like these ones I call like obsessive women, where it's like
obsessive men,
or I mean obsessive men. Yes, my bad.
Where we all knew what we meant.
Yes. Where it's like when a woman told a man no, and then he like freaks out.
Girl,
like, that's a red flag.
Huge red flag.
That's the beginning of the domestic violence in my mind. It's like, okay, like I wrote this down. This is like something I saw from some situation where it was like, This guy texted her back to back 120 messages. She didn't respond. Then reached out on Facebook Messenger with another 50 messages, 20 missed calls, 5 FaceTime calls, and reached out to this person's best friend. And this was like, I don't remember the whole story, but like,
right.
They barely, like, maybe gone on a couple dates or something, or one date or something.
That just blows my mind that, like, how do you even have that mental capacity to be like, yeah, that makes sense. Let me blow this person's phone up. Like, what?
And so posting about this in this group means someone else can avoid that person, because that 100%. Is not healthy.
You're
behavior.
saving somebody from a whole world of like being terrorized at this point by somebody like this.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh. And I know you mentioned something about like background checks, right? Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah. So what's nice about these groups there are some women who have offered to run background checks on men, and there are tons of different like websites and things like that offer those services, but you have to pay for them. And these women have graciously offered, like, if you ever need to look up someone, like, please do that. Yeah. And they've given warnings, like, anybody you go out with, like, you need to run a background, like, you can never be too sure. These people can say, like, men can say things to your face and you can believe it.
Yes.
But
because, how dare you believe something someone tells you,
right, exactly. But you just need to be sure. And if you have anything off, your intuition, your gut is going to tell you.
Yeah.
Look them up, because you will be saving yourself from a whole world of just trauma and all of that.
Exactly.
By just doing a quick search.
Exactly.
And so it's nice because these women do offer these other women, like, hey, like, we'll look them up for you.
Yes.
So
love that.
I really love seeing that in the group too.
Okay, this next group of types of posts you will see in these groups, these Are We Dating the Same Guy groups, are serial and delusional daters. This might be honestly my favorite one, because they're so hilarious. Like, they're so absurd.
These are so wild.
Like, what is the wildest like for you that you've seen on this?
I mean, I've seen it where a man is posted and I see like hundreds of comments of women being like, oh, I was dating him from this time frame to this time frame. And there'd be a comment that replies being like, wait, this time frame, I was dating him. Oh. And it's just like this snowball effect. And then there's a woman that posted another time frame, and then they comment, I mean, blows up, and you read the comments and there's like 300-400 comments. Oh my God. And I'm like, how did we get here? Someone's just asking, have you dated this man? And it's like hundreds of comments, and it's just like, what are these men doing?
How do they have time?
How do you have time?
In the money.
Don't you have responsibilities
for all these dates? Right?
I guess do you work? I guess because you're paying for them. But then a lot of these are like home dates. He doesn't take them out.
Oh, they're just, hey, come over.
So he picks and chooses.
Yeah.
Some of them are home, some of them are out.
This is why we need standards, ladies. I say we, for the record. I'm off the dating market, but
we, meaning me, we need standards, ladies. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
I feel you.
So my favorite about this category, the serial and delusional daters, is the screenshots that people upload of some men's dating app profiles. Okay.
Girl, do you have examples? Because
I have examples. I came with a list. Okay. So one man said, I just want a girl who will do blank, blank. I'm just like kind of anonymizing here.
Oh, yes.
And do everything I tell her to do.
I wish a man would, because
that makes me want to swipe on you.
Ooh.
or any of them that like call out a woman's looks or weight. So I've seen like, are you curvy or overweight? If you're fat or a slut, then don't waste my time. And the most hilarious part, I know it's not funny, but the most funny parts about these are these men look like thumbs. They look like thumbs. And you know what? I'm sorry. Maybe that's mean. But like, if that is going to be your profile, like.
That frustrates me, because I'm just like, sir, pick a struggle. You cannot look the way that, I don't like to.
Not that if you're attractive, you can get away with that or anything. But like, on top of that, that's what you're looking like.
That's so.
How do you have the confidence?
Brazen. I don't understand.
I want to have the confidence of those men.
Delusional confidence.
Are these the same men who are thinking about the Roman Empire every week? Every
day?
They
think about it weekly.
Every day.
And they've broken it down. Ridiculous.
Okay, I have a couple more in this category. Again, this is actual, like, dating profiles of men.
Yes.
Seeking an old school woman who won't speak out of turn and will be okay with one-way polyamory. AKA, I can go date whoever I want, but you're not allowed to, and you need to not speak out of turn. I don't think that they would be fans of this podcast.
I'm telling you, if Drew saw these.
Oh, Drew would tear them apart. Drew lives for these. Lives for these. They are paying her paycheck.
Yes. Ugh.
Okay, wait. I have another one. I had to upload a link to this one because this was a long one.
Oh, yeah, this was a long one.
Let me see. Okay, wait.
I know because it's a link. I know this is going to be it.
Okay, delusional men. If we match and you don't initiate communication promptly, daddy will delete you and move on.
Not referring to himself as daddy.
It gets better. Honest, dominant, no filter, no smokers, daddy's allergic. So you've now referred to yourself as daddy twice in a dating app. Open to long term, but won't be rushed. If we click, you won't have to press for that. So don't. I don't even know what that last part means.
What is that?
You won't have to press for that.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. But again, daddy.
Oh, like press for long term?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Either way, it's the ick. Daddy. Yeah, I think that I feel for you out there who are single.
It's hard in these streets, you know what I mean? And I will say, to give a little lighter silver lining, there are some good men out there that I have met, okay?
And women vouch for them in those groups
they
too,
do,
which is good.
They do. So there are some good men out there, but
there are some daddies.
There are some, and the good men that I'm talking about right now, check these other men.
Please, yes.
Fix them. Okay?
It's not our job.
We can't. So now,
oh my God.
So the other part, we see some open questions.
Oh yeah,
some Q&A, open questions within the group to get some details and advice in the group. Yes. Oh, so we've seen a couple of them, right? So there's one that I've seen that asks a simple question of what is the mature way of breaking up with a man that you kind of fell too hard too fast for?
Yeah.
And there was additional context basically being we met in person and we only hang out at home. That's it. They don't go out. They don't go on actual dates. It's just come over. What's going on there?
Yeah. Something sketchy.
Is he hiding something?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And so, people have replied and they'd say things like, just be honest and just let them know hey, I don't think we're vibing. I don't think we're compatible in this because it sounded like that she wants something a little bit more serious or doesn't want anything serious now because it just kind of took off really fast. And she's like, just kidding. I need to pull back.
Yeah.
And it's just be upfront and be like, hey, we're done.
I think that's what's nice about the group too, is it's almost like a trust your gut thing.
It is.
Because a lot of times the comments on those kind of posts are trust your gut.
Yes.
You feel like something's off, trust it. Sometimes that validation is all someone needs.
Exactly. And if enough women are starting to comment and they say the exact same thing, you would hope that person's you know what? Yes, I need to just own this feeling that I have and just end it and be done. Move on. Life is too short to be with these.
Yeah, agreed. And it's also sometimes it's nice to use a group for that because if you aren't sure about the relationship and there maybe still is a chance it moves forward, sometimes there's something about not wanting to talk about that with your close people because you don't want them to judge that person if it does go further. Right?
It does. And I've definitely been in that situation where I'm I want to hold off on some details and figure it out myself before I share the next level of what's going on in the relationship or whatever it is.
For sure.
Oh gosh. And then women are, she also had asked do I text him? Do I call him? Do I do it in person? Yeah. And again, it just depends on the level of what you've established. What do you think is the most appropriate to end this said situationship or whatever it is? But I think a theme in that particular one was just don't ghost people. And I think that kind of goes both ways. I'm not a ghoster. I will admit I used to be.
But you've grown.
I've grown.
We acknowledge growth on the show.
Yes, we acknowledge that. And I I know exactly what I need to say to somebody to just be like, hey, it was great, but like, this is it. And like, move on.
And then that's when you hope that the guy doesn't show up in that other category we talked about before.
Or they come back and they're just like
120 messages,
right?
50.
If they are in any sort of way emotionally mature, they will just accept it and leave it alone. But if they
probably most of them,
yes. But you do have the few that are blowing up your phone and like calling, texting, finding you on social media and like, yo.
Hopefully the more that those men get posted in these groups and the more that people join these groups,
it'll start to weed them out. I would hope so.
See.
One can only hope.
Yeah, hold them accountable, ladies.
Yes. And then and then some other things that I've seen. So there was another post that I had looked at where this person was essentially, they have a roster. And basically what it means is like they have multiple men that they're dating right now. Like 4 or 5 trying to
got a white boy on my roster.
Literally. And so the question was posed, like, at what point do you decide that like it's time to let that roster go?
Right.
And focus on the one person? It's like, well, that depends on you.
Yeah.
When are you like, do you feel like you're ready to focus, or do you still want to keep like hanging out with all of them and like figuring out like who makes you feel great, like who is like truly pursuing you, or who's just kind of like not doing so much of that?
Obviously I've been out of the dating world for I don't know, 10 years. So like, do you feel like it is more normalized to like truly date more people until you like settle down in that way now? Or do you feel like it's still like there obviously society in the past has not looked at women as being okay to do that, but do you feel like now that's like more normalized?
I think it is. And it also depends on the woman, because some women are just like, I can't spread myself like that and like that's date multiple people, and some women they can do it, and there's nothing wrong with either way. For me personally, I know it's hard for me to date multiple people, so that's not something that I would probably put myself in. I've tried it and like it was like too much for me. I'm like, stressful. I can focus on one person and like go from there. That's honestly fair.
I feel like that's how I would be.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are like, well, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I'm like, I get that. But like, I'm also in a place where I'm like, I have so many other things going on outside of just dating that like, yes, I can talk to one person, but I also have like all of these like organizations and things that I'm involved in that like, I don't have time to like juggle like multiple men.
It's also
as much as I would like think that I could, but like, no.
Anything you set your mind to. It's also like not actually putting all your eggs in,
right? Because I'm not even doing that.
Let's move in together.
No, but it's just like I'm choosing to focus, like put my energy just into one person. Doesn't mean I'm like I want this person to date me now. It just means this person happens to be in my life at this point, and I'll put in the effort as long as you put in the same amount of effort.
Yeah,
simple as that.
It's nice that like these groups allow these kind of conversations to happen.
Yeah, I agree. So again, she had asked this question and one girl had said like, do it bachelorette style. And I was like, obviously love that answer of like, date them all, ask these questions, eliminate them, like choose like the one you give your rose ceremony. And I'm like, I love it.
Invite all of your friends over for the rose ceremony.
100%. It would be so funny. So funny. It also, that just like the rose ceremony thing reminded me of like way back during COVID where I did that virtual dating show.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yes, we'll talk about that later. But
I want to hear more now.
You want to hear it now?
I mean, why not?
I mean, sure. Okay, so I did a virtual dating show.
Yes.
I forgot. Oh, it was called Sheltered in Love or something like that. And
I feel like this was kind of like Love is Blind before Love is Blind, but it wasn't truly blind, but it was like attempting to get over the distance piece.
Yes, it was like a mix of like Love is Blind before it was Love is Blind and like The Bachelor / Bachelorette, depending on who was like the focus.
Yeah.
And I was on season 4. And it was very interesting. Like, again, we would have like these virtual Zoom dates.
Yeah.
And then there was a toilet paper ceremony.
Oh because of the whole toilet paper thing during COVID.
And so I made it through the toilet paper ceremony. And then I ultimately decided like not to take his like offer or whatever.
I remember this. It was kind of controversial.
It was controversial because I had a hater who commented and was like, no wonder you're 30 and single. Oh, because I said no to a toilet paper offer. on a virtual show,
on a virtual dating
that I couldn't even meet the person if I wanted to for 2 years. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yo, I was like, it was wild. But that's what this reminded me of. I was like, oh, that was a time. I was just doing anything for the plot at that point.
I love that. I feel like we need to find some of that old footage and repost it. It was so good.
I can definitely find that. I think I still have some things tagged on my actual profile.
Yeah.
For that. So if you go to my Instagram, you will see this. I think I have a story highlight that is like,
oh, yep.
Just go through the story highlights. That'll catch you up on everything.
Love that. Yes. Okay. So I feel like those are like the main themes in these groups.
I would agree. I think that's what we usually see. But again, like there's always tons of other things that are always posted in there. But those were the themes that we wanted to highlight on because those are the most common that we see within those groups.
Yeah. And I would recommend everyone join them. Like join your local ones. We're not sponsored by this, I promise. No. But like, I don't know. I get personally, and again, I'm married, so I'm not on the dating scene, but I find it very entertaining.
Absolutely.
And also again, like even if it's not like if I see some red flags about a dude, like and like I see him out and like at the gym or the community, like I want to avoid that person.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like
it's just like a nice like little community of like just keeping women safe in the dating world and also like helping us be smarter about the people that we choose to entertain and you know go from there. So
exactly.
Oh gosh. With that being said, I think we can close this one out, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So now that we've come to the end of this, we always like to close out every episode by sharing the last drop of tea for the day.
Yes. Well, here we go. Basically, it's just stay safe out there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we talked a lot about safety today, and do what you got to do to get the tea or the red flags to keep yourself safe on the dating market.
Yes, 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 and yes.
And so we will see you all next time.
See you later.
Bye.